What is up, internet? Digrex here, and today I'm coming at you with a brand new video. And in today's video we are going to be talking about Borderlands 3 because I've been playing it a decent amount, and this channel is primarily a Destiny channel, and whenever a new looter shooter comes out, and I know Borderlands itself is not new and Borderlands 3 doesn't really do much to mix up the equation, it's always compared to Destiny whenever a new looter shooter comes out, and it just so happens that Borderlands 3 is the new looter shooter, and Borderlands 3 is one of these shooters that does it the absolute best. So I wanted to make a video, since this is primarily a Destiny channel, if Borderlands 3 would be good for you if you are into Destiny. So obviously with Destiny, the delay of Shadowkeep got delayed until October 1st, so we've got a few weeks here before Destiny, or before Shadowkeep drops. So that is a good reason to play Borderlands 3. I mean, you do need something to hold you off, because if you are primarily a Destiny player, then Destiny probably is just not cutting it for you right now, as, you know, most of the stuff is over, most of the content is played through. So there is a little bit of a dry spot in Destiny right now, unfortunately, and that is one of the main reasons why I wanted to pick up Borderlands 3, just because it kind of scratches that urge for the looter shooter, and it's kind of a slow spot in gaming, especially if you're a main Destiny player right now. So you definitely got time to play this game and grind it a little bit before Shadowkeep comes out, especially if you have a decent amount of time on your hands. And if you do have a decent amount of time on your hands, then I would almost 100% recommend picking this up right away, even if you haven't played a Borderlands game before. And there are a few differences between Borderlands and Destiny. So Borderlands is a lot better with friends because they put a big emphasis on co-op play, and co-op play is very fun and important throughout the Borderlands franchise. Of course, there's different classes you can pick from, similar to Destiny, although there's just more of an emphasis on the co-op and on sharing loot and different stuff like that. So that is a difference. With Borderlands, there's a lot more emphasis on the story also, rather than end game activities. You get a lot of your loot through the very long campaign, might I add. It is a long campaign. It is not a Destiny campaign, so you don't have to worry about freaking 5 hours of blah 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 kind of boringness waiting to get to the end game so you can get your loot. The campaign is actually really entertaining. In any of the Borderlands games, they always have well written characters, some funny lines, and the vibe of Borderlands is much different than Destiny. It keeps kind of a post-apocalyptic vibe, but you will see a lot of dark humor. You will see a lot of like just immature humor. It's a good time, trust me. Especially because Destiny's jokes are like, "You put your rock on my map," like, ha, that's so funny. But Borderlands is genuinely a pretty well written game, and pretty fun to listen to. The characters interact with each other and stuff like that, so it is pretty damn cool. So with the emphasis on campaign, there isn't as much emphasis on endgame sort of stuff. You will increase your difficulty, and there are a few activities for endgame, but there's not stuff like raids. And I know raids are a staple for the Destiny franchise, and I love raids myself. I can always get in with a good raid. Raids are great. And even though there might not be something like that in Borderlands 3, there are still other endgame activities, as well as upping difficulties and mechanics on already existing bosses, because the bosses within Borderlands are actually really dope, and that you'll fight throughout the story, and then later on in endgame if you want to grind for one of their specific weapons, their specific powerful weapons. So there is a pretty good grind at the end of this, especially for weapons and upgrading your character. The builds in this game are absolutely insane. The builds that you can create with certain powerful weapons and certain shields and certain loot that you can obtain. So if you're into builds in Destiny, Borderlands really takes it to the next level, because the skill trees in this game are pretty damn crazy. Now Destiny's subclasses are cool, but it doesn't really shine as much of a light as it doesn't really hold a light to the Borderlands skill trees, because these skill trees are very complicated, very fun, so you can make a very complex build, complex character, which is pretty damn cool. Now, of course, there are 4 classes in this game. Each class has 3 skill trees. Similar to Destiny, Each class has 3 subclasses in Destiny, so that's pretty similar. You'll find that fairly familiar if you're a big Destiny player. So overall, less emphasis on endgame with Borderlands, although there is still an endgame. More you level up throughout the campaign and stuff like that. Of course, there's tons of good loot in Borderlands. You will never run out of fun guns to grab, unique weapons, and there are a ton of unique abilities and unique enemies within Borderlands. So all that is fairly similar. It's just the difference on endgame, more of an emphasis on story. There's a lot of good written characters in Borderlands. So I would recommend picking it up, especially like I said, if you have time to play Borderlands before Shadowkeep, definitely do that, because Destiny is in a little bit of a dry spell right now. And yeah, it's just a fun game to play, guys. Just blasting through all these crazy creatures, and then of course you got your classic psychos and stuff like that. It's always just a good time to see a psycho just get obliterated by a rocket launcher or something like that, because there's something about Borderlands, the vibe is just different. It takes itself less seriously, which is always good for a video game, because a lot of video games take themselves way too seriously. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please consider picking up Borderlands 3 if you play Destiny. Very, very fun game. And trust me, if you enjoy Destiny, you will most likely enjoy this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more Borderlands 3 and Destiny 2 content. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been DidgerX. Peace.
And I'm open to mine, so we all need some time just to settle down. Won't you come around, cause I never can leave it alone. Talking about somebody rolling, boulevard dining, making it count for efforts I can't explain. Balling and feeling we drowning, never been humbled by playing the fighter.